Where's Mr. Modi? He is nowhere to be seen. Modi Saab has turned summit dodging into an Olympic sport. Where is he during the Gaza Peace Summit in Egypt? He sends Mr. Jaishankar, mumbles about a last minute invite, while Mr. Sharif gets all the glory, right behind President Trump. ASEAN Summit in Kuala Lumpur, Modi Saab decides to go virtual. He'll join in online, blaming Diwali celebrations. 1 week after all the diyas went out. UNGA, COP29, poof. Modi Saab's vanished faster than a Delhi air pollution advisory. Why is Modi ji dodging Trump as if he's selling NFTs? Trump's tariffs, 50% on India textiles and pharma, his Truth Social rants about India's Russian oil, and repeated claims of brokering India-Pakistan peace. Modi ji and Trump nowadays are a gold mine for comedy content. The reason why Modi is not facing Trump is because he has seen the Zelensky treatment. That White House lecture that left Ukraine's president looking as if he forgot his lines. No way Modi ji is posing for a Trump photo op just to be looking like a distant cousin that no one likes at the Bharat. Instead, he decides to put on the cloak of invisibility. Sends Jaishankar to ASEAN. Russian oil purchases quietly dip, and India loses BFFs one by one. Trump's tweets may sting, but Modi's betting silenced Trump's tantrums. While the world watches this diplomatic dance-off, real power moves happen offstage. Deals signed, systems tested, and Pakistan's arsenal quietly sharpening. So grab your chai. This is a spicy grown-up talk about arms, deterrence, and why India's loud announcements are starting to sound like a Bollywood movie trailer with no release date in sight. On October 23rd, 2025, Defense Minister Rajnath Singh's DSC rolled out a 79,000 crore plan. That's $9.5 billion shopping spree for the armed forces. Cue the headlines. India's military might unleashed. Sounds like a superhero movie, right? Here's the script. 97 Tejas Mk-1A jets, homegrown but still 4th gen wannabes with no GE engines in sight. 6 next-gen corvettes for the Navy, complete with shiny 30mm guns and smart ammo to make pirates jealous. Zorawar tanks for the army, because nothing says Himalayan dominance like light tanks stuck in R&D. Oh, and some Coast Guard boats, MQ-9B drones, and a sprinkle of DRDO's cyber AI robotics dreams. All 75% made in India, which basically means imported from China and other countries and screwdrivered in India. Because Atmanirbhar Bharat is the tagline that pays, like the BrahMos. The whole India believes that it's an indigenous product, when it's in the name Bra and Mos, named after 2 different rivers. Bra is, of course, from the Brahmaputra, and the Mos is Moskva River in Russia. 2.4 billion in exports last year, they brag. But here's the plot twist. This 9.5 billion is just 31% of their massive 6.81 lakh crore defense budget. The rest? 24% goes to pensions for the retired Jawans and border roads that will finish by the time your grandkids are tweeting. Only 2.8 billion buys actual weapons. And with a 5 to 7 year rollout, it's like ordering a deg for Choti Eid after Badi Eid. Meanwhile, India's Air Force is down to 31 squadrons, 11 short of the 42 they need. 6 squadrons being Sepicat Jaguars, bought in the 60s. And they're falling out of skies, killing young Air Force officers. Their S-400 still tripping over sanctions and needing replacements after the ones the PF blew up in May. Meanwhile, Pakistan quietly wiring HQ-19s and AWACS to make every missile count now. India's media calls this budget a game changer. Wैसे everything is a game changer. Rafale was a game changer. Su-47 is a game changer. The aircraft carrier is a game changer. Everything is a game changer. But what is the game? What is being changed to? Ridiculous stuff. Anyways, India's media calls this budget a game changer for LSC and LOC. That's the line between India and Pakistan and India and China. Sure, if the game is waiting a decade for tanks to climb a hill, Pakistan's not throwing a press conference. They're building a shield that bites today. And now we bring ourselves to the new acquisitions by Pakistan. Toys that will seamlessly blend into the multi-domain scenario of today's battlefield. Let's kick off with Pakistan's big play, the HQ-19. Reports through mid-2025 say Pakistan's deep in talks with China for this theater missile defense system. When it lands, it's not just another surface-to-air missile. It's a made-in-China slap to India's ballistic missile dreams. What is the HQ-19? It's China's high-altitude missile killer, built to swat ballistic missiles and glide vehicles like a hawk, snatching pigeons mid-flight. Think of it as an iron umbrella over Pakistan's key assets, catching everything from short-range rockets to lofted warheads screaming in from the orbit. How does it work? As per public estimates, the detection starts with a beastly radars the type of 610A, tracking threats up to 4,000 kilometers away, from atmospheric missiles to orbital satellites. Infrared systems add extra eyes, cutting through the fog of war. Once the target's locked, an 8x8 truck chassis, small, movable, which can shoot and then hide itself to a different location, pops 6 vertical launch tubes. Mid-flight, the interceptor's radar and infrared sensors with fancy anti-atmospheric window steer it for a head-on kinetic kill. No explosives, just a high-speed Mach 29 cosmic bullet smashing its targets to bits. It can hit missiles in mid-course or terminal phase at altitudes over 200 kilometers, high enough to photobomb their satellites. The system syncs in with Pakistan's current systems like the LY-80 and the HQ-9 surface-to-air missiles, our AWACS and space sensors, forming a shield tighter than a Karachi bank vault. In timeline terms, advanced talks began in mid-2025. When signed, the first batteries could deploy in 12 to 36 months, assuming crews master the tech and data links don't crash like a bad Wi-Fi signal. Delivery is the easy part. Wiring it into Pakistan's C2 network is like teaching Sara Ali Khan to dance or to act. Now let's take a look at the S-400, India's pride and joy. The Russian SAM is decent for planes and cruise missiles with part-time gig in ballistic missile defense. India's been unpacking this S-400 since 2021, but sanctions, missing spares due to the ongoing Russia-Ukraine conflict, and battle losses to PAF strikes, also some logistic fumbles, are moving this process much slower. The HQ-19? It's a laser-focused missile killer, plugged into China's slick radar and satellite grid. It doesn't juggle tasks, it just obliterates the big threats without any drama. Why does this matter? South Asia's mountains and geography and coasts make radar squint like an old uncle. HQ-19's Type 610A and space sensors laugh at the terrain, seeing 4,000 kilometers clear. S-400's ground radars are still tripping over Himalayan shadows. It fits right into Pakistan's ecosystem. So integration is smoother than a fresh shaken lassi. While India loves punish the enemy bravado, Pakistan's about survive the punch and be ready to hit again. HQ-19 ensures bases stay standing when India's BrahMos missiles come knocking. Picture this. India launches a ballistic salvo to flatten Pakistan's command posts. HQ-19's interceptors slam the high flyers. LY-80 mops up the floor with the low stuff. And the AWACS, we'll come back to that later, calls the shots. India's war room scrambles, their big strike fizzling like a Republic Day sparkler in the rain. However, there are challenges. Training crews and syncing systems takes years. Power grids and data links need to be bulletproof. China's tech does come with strings, advisors, spare parts, and a Beijing hotline. But Pakistan is absolutely fine with this battle-tested network. And with close ties with China, it is a shield that works well for us now. The HQ-19 is not just a battery of missiles. It's a not today to India's first strike fantasies. With AWACS and fighters, Pakistan's air defense flips from a duck and cover to good luck, mate. India's media hypes every S-400 delivery like it's Diwali and Holi combined. In reality, delays, glitches, and half-ready systems. Pakistan, no presses, no photo ops, just progress. One is shouting, "My shield's unbeatable." The other one's whispering, "Try hitting me first." If HQ-19 is the shield, the KJ-500 AWACS is the brain telling it where to swing. Pakistan sniffing around this Chinese airborne radar to stitch its air defenses into a tight quilt. In a Y-8 or IL-76 airframe, it offers long endurance, medium altitude, with a AESA radar in a balanced beam configuration for 360 degrees eagle eyes. It detects threats, directs fighters, cues SAMs, and sniffs out enemy signals like a gossip auntie at a kiddie party. It has long endurance for airborne operations, and of course with the option of mid-air refueling. Why is it important? Ground radars get vertigo from Earth's curvature. The KJ-500 flies high, spotting low-flying jets or missiles before they sneak in. It's a force multiplier, turning a ragtag fighter fleet into a synchronized sting operation. It assigns targets, keeps jets from bumping, and makes every missile count. Of course, its integration with vectors like J-35 or JF-17 is quite easy. Its electronic warfare and ISR suite picks up enemy chatter, feeds SIGINT, and tracks stealthy threats. It fuses sensors like a tech wizard. It's not just a see far, it's also see sneaky. It's a core requirement for Pakistan because Pakistan is plugging holes in its ground radar operations, especially in Pakistan's rugged backyard. It makes old JF-17s punch like heavyweights and turns its HQ-19s into a sniper rifle. Plus, it watches the Arabian Sea, catching sneaky cruise missiles before they crash into the party. However, AWACS are quite pricey divas. Big fuel bills, need trained crews, long missions, but also they're a juicy target, needing fighter escorts and SAM cover. But Pakistan is building that bubble. The KJ-500 flips Pakistan from scattered defenses to a networked fist. See first, hit first, win first. Together, it's Pakistan's checkmate, not India's clickbait. And now the sharp end, the J-35, China's 5th gen stealth fighter, ready to give Pakistan Air Force a glow up. The J-35 bolsters a stealthy frame, internal weapons base, low radar cross section, basically a ghost with missiles. AESA radar, slick avionics, and data links that vibe with China's and Pakistan's C4 ISR, built on carrier-tested tech, so it's not just science project. How it all fits together. The K500 spots the threats, the J-35 sneaks in for the kill, while the HQ-19 guards the homestead. Stealth lets Pakistan play offense, hit enemy targets, radars or bombers, before they know what's coming. It's deterrence with a bite. India's 5th gen saga has advanced into laughable stages. AMCA, right now it's a PowerPoint dream, decades from takeoff. The Su-57 talks with Russia, stuck in bureaucratic quagmire swamps. First rejection, then acceptance, then rejection, then acceptance. With India crying and bawling like a bride at a rukhsati. Meanwhile, their MiG-21s flying coffins, far from the new era, are finally retiring. Thank God, unki jaan chuti. Leaving the aircraft with just 31 squadrons. It's not a fleet. It's a museum with a runway. Pakistan, the J-35 could be flying while India is still debating specs, and their media warmongers yell strike now, like Mohsin Naqvi stealing away their Asian Cup trophy. Stealth forces India to buy better radars and AWACS. Good luck with that acquisition timeline. With KJ-500 and HQ-19, J-35 makes Pakistan's small force a surgical nightmare for the offensive. India's Air Force is like its media. Big on hype, short on delivery. Every new jet is a game changer. Yet, squadrons shrink and Jaguars crash faster than Big Boss TV ratings. But Pakistan has been buying proven, wiring it tight, and training hard. Less noise, more sting. While India's TV anchors scream war every night, their Air Force is flying relics, from the 60s and their S-400s are still in the repair shop. Pakistan's reply, keep shouting. We'll be over here, ready and waiting. While Modi ji plays cha and peekaboo with Trump, and India's media hypes war like it's cricket season, Pakistan building a quiet networked arsenal. HQ-19, KJ-500 AWACS and J-35, not just toys, but a system that makes India's planners sweat. It's not about who's the loudest, it's about who's the readiest. If you're watching till now, you now know more than half of the Indian WhatsApp users. Hit like, share, subscribe, and tell us what gear to shred next. We see your replies, we read your replies even from across the border. Keep them spicy. That's our chai break with missiles. Until next time, keep poking the tough questions, and we'll see you next time. Good night. Allah Hafiz.